everybody. Sophia Parola here with the Garden State Film Festival, and I have the pleasure of interviewing David Joseph Vellino today. He is the lead actor, one of the lead actors, and one of the writers of the short film, I'll Meet You There. Beautiful, beautiful story, very touching. I personally love it, and I'm not just saying that, so I'm really excited to talk to you about it.
Cool, cool.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining me,
I'm
and thanks
excited.
for making the film. How you
Dude,
doing?
you're awesome, by the way. She's awesome. She's doing a great job. Sophie's killing it.
Stop. Say more. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding. Thank you, David. You're awesome. You were amazing in the film. Can you tell everybody who doesn't know you or who hasn't watched the film yet a little bit about yourself and the film?
Oof. Okay, sure. Geez. From New Jersey, right? Born and raised, I told you that. Yeah, got into acting around like I was in college and I took a acting one course for an easy A. Didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. Was kind of failing, and I loved it. Fell in love with it. Just learning about it, not doing really, but like then I started trying to audition for things like little plays in college, and then I eventually booked one. And you know, I guess fast forward like a decade, and I'm here with you right now. And
Wow.
yeah, made a couple shorts with some buddies, and this is one of them. And yeah,
So you started acting for an easy A, and did you make
yeah,
the A?
I think so. Actually, yeah,
Okay,
I don't
good. You
remember.
deserved it, and look at you now. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you don't know what you're doing or what you want to do. Like for
Mhm.
me, I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. But when I found that, I was like, I don't want to do anything but that. Like
Mhm.
I just wanted to soak it up like a sponge and just try it a bunch of times and read crazy plays I never heard of. And
I love that.
yeah. So
Absolutely. That's when you know it's for you, when it feels right
yeah,
and you don't
yeah.
want to do
I
anything
agree.
else. I
I
love
agree.
that. And can you tell everybody a little bit about I'll Meet You There? Like a little
Sure.
synopsis?
Yeah. So it was. I tend to write only when I'm like given something that like it's something that like I always say keeps me up at night, like a thing that I can't quite figure out about life. Like I struggled a bunch with the my first short film that I wrote that I really put a lot into was this film called The Rose Garden, and it was about like ships in the night. Like what happens if you were to go back and try to be with the person you missed, you know? And what would that be like 10 years down the road if you showed up and knocked on the door? And that's what the short was about. And so this one was about I have a real big fear about dying and about losing the people I love. Like I know it sounds silly, but kind of keeps me up at night. That's the thing that
It's
I've
not silly at all. I
yeah,
think a
yeah,
lot
I
of people
guess
hear
it's
that.
less
Yeah.
silly the more I talk about it. But
Mhm.
it's an unfair quality of life, but that makes life beautiful because it's we're on a you know a certain time limit and we don't know what it is.
Mhm.
But what happens when you're presented with that in reality, and what are the conversations that could happen?
Mhm.
Sometimes I felt like I close up and I clam up when I'm around that situation, or I explode in anger and frustration and just general like dark, sad feelings because
Mhm.
I don't want to even think about it. Um, so I wanted to have a film that put two people in a room together that love each other, that don't know what they're going to do once one of them leaves, and have a conversation about it at some point, hopefully.
Wow.
And what would that sound like? And so that was the big question that I wanted to answer with the film. And luckily, this amazing man named Tom Panzarino, um, he unfortunately lost his wife uh, to malignant breast cancer years ago, a couple of years ago. She was like the coolest woman. We were super close family friends, and like he just opened his arms to me because I was trying to learn as much as I could about the grieving process and trying to find grief share groups. And Tom had firsthand experience in this, and he sat down with me and just went through his experience and the little things that you wouldn't think about. He really opened up to me in a major way. And he's in the film actually. He starts the film off. He's the big guy in the beginning.
Oh, he has a lovely voice, and I didn't
He's
know where it was
incredible,
coming
right?
from. I loved that transition.
Thanks. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he'll be happy to hear that. He's a great man, and he was honest enough to share with all of the actors there that day in this grief share group that staged and made it very real. So that's how he starts the film, and he's a huge inspiration. And God rest his wife's soul because we wanted to do her justice too.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that's where it came from. That's what it is, I guess.
That is beautiful, and I'm very amazed, if that makes sense, that you just had this idea of something that you feared and you wanted to write on. You did all this research and you found people who really know it, and then this film came out of it.
Right.
Because it really is. It seems very personal, and I do know a loved one who lost their spouse,
Oh,
and
wow.
it really resonated with me, and I really want to show him this film. And I think that
Wow.
this story is beautiful, and I'm glad you told it. So
Well, thank you. Yeah,
thank you. That was just a little bit of my thoughts.
I
But
appreciate it.
you mentioned this the group therapy that you have in this film, how Tom made it real, but the whole film for me was very, very real. And that has to do with the acting as well. You and the other lead, Carlotta
Carlotta, Carlotta,
Carlotta, were
Carlotta
wonderful.
Brenton. Yeah.
Yeah, the dynamic, the chemistry, it just felt so real and intimate, and you guys had a wonderful connection. I'd love
Oh,
to
thanks.
hear about how you guys cast her and
Sure.
how you two developed that relationship.
Yeah, sure. So Karl, shout out Karl. Karl Fernandez directed and made this baby with me. He's been my homie from college basically, and we linked up and he was the first one to say like, let's do your thing, dude. Let's roll. He was always behind the camera making stuff, and we just like made a little duo. And
Great partnership.
finding Carlotta was like I wrote this story with Carlotta in mind already because we had been working on a play. I went to acting school. Sorry, I talk like forward and then I always kind of cut back.
I'm
That's how my
following
mind
you.
goes. I apologize. Okay,
Please don't. Please talk
so
away.
we went to acting school in Brooklyn for a time called Playhouse West Brooklyn Lab. And that's where I met Carlotta, and I just thought she was super talented and she's so cool. And she was always just like getting better every time I saw her and everything she did. And I was a real fan of hers at first. Like I was afraid to talk to her at first. I didn't know what to say. And I was lucky enough to get into play with her. It was this little like a bunch of little plays basically jumbled together, and we all did it all from that acting school. And we threw it up at the Crane in New York City, and it was the first time I got to work with her. And I said, "Man, she's awesome, dude. She's so good." And we had like this chemistry, this way of working. And then we went. I got in a play that she was directing that had a New York run, and then it went to Rome. So I spent a lot of time with her, and it rehearsed for like I feel like I might be wrong, but it felt like 7 months. And we spent so much time together that I was like, as soon as I started writing, I told her like, this is gonna come, this day's gonna come, and like I just really want you to say yes to this because I don't know if I could do this with anyone else. So I hope you say yes. And because I don't want to talk too much, but
No,
I
it's
think like
great. I love that.
okay, yeah,
And she
I
said
think
yes.
she said yes. She said yes. And when
Yeah.
I work, like I got to put real care and investment into the person who's in front of me. Like
Mhm,
otherwise I don't feel nothing. If I really care about the person in front of me, I think that's a staple of all good acting. Like
mhm.
you really gotta care. You really gotta give a what about the person in front of you. So if you see anything, it means something to you and it changes you in the scene. And you know, the
Yes.
things in between the scenes matter. And yeah, she was just perfect. She's so cool. She's just the coolest
She's
person.
amazing, and I
Yeah.
love that. Did you guys have a lot of rehearsals before you filmed this, or was it just like throwing
I
yourselves
feel
in
I,
it?
I feel like that whole play before was
Mhm.
like a rehearsal because
Was your chemistry read, right?
right,
Uh-huh.
we were married in the play, and my job that whole play was to like protect my wife and to hide her from like the danger in the room. And so that was me 24/7 through that time, and then it led into this. And I think we had like maybe like 3 rehearsals, like technical rehearsals at her apartment and like a studio space and just with the lines and trying to improv and do our technique stuff. And yeah, I guess it was a long process,
Mhm.
but if technically you're looking at the rehearsal part, 3 days.
Okay, so is that how long the filming process was? How long did this take? Because I realized, I mean, it's not hard to not notice this, but the beard, it obviously looks
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
guys took some time in the filming process, like you had to film, and then some time passed before you guys finished filming. So what was that filming process?
That's a little film trick right there. You caught Sophia. That's a film trick. That was
Teach me.
we shot the stuff that my character goes through after first, and then we shaved, and then we shot the stuff
Why didn't I think
next
of
thing.
that?
Yeah. It's
That
a little
makes
trick.
sense.
Little trick, you know? Because
Okay,
we
so there
really got
wasn't a
everybody
long
good.
wait period.
No. It was just I think 3 days, three and a
Ah,
half days or something like that. Yeah.
wow. Amazing. So, how did you and Karl write? You guys wrote this piece together,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
How did you guys collaborate and writing? Did you guys like butt heads? Was it very easy? What was the writing process like?
No. He's my buddy. That's my brother. I think like I have an idea and I like sit down and I draft the thing up and I say, hey, dude, we got one. I think you want to like check it out, and I send it to him, and he said, come over and let's work on it, and that's what we did. I came over, worked on it. I think we got like maybe like 5, 6 drafts, nothing crazy. We didn't waste too much time. We didn't spend too much time in the writing process, but like I think it was a good couple days. Um, Looking back, I'd love to write more in there, and like or like not more, but like just work on my technique a bit more. But
Mm.
uh, no, I'm really grateful because he's the easiest dude to work with. You know,
Well,
he's
Karl, shout out to you.
got him.
Obviously, you directed something beautiful and you guys made something great. Wish
Thanks,
you could be
thank you.
here, Karl.
Oh, I wish.
So another question I have. So you mentioned you didn't go through this personal, but it was a fear of yours. So you're obviously connected to it, and you know someone who went through it.
Mhm.
What was your intentions? Like, I don't know if this question makes sense, but what are you hoping audiences get from watching
Oh,
this film?
I love this. Is a great question. You're really good at doing this. This is such a good question. Um, I really hope, like, oh man, I really hope people realize that like no moment is invaluable with the person that you're in front of. Like, we're all on this clock, and it's easy to forget. We have our routines and we have our jobs and we have things we have to do to survive. But like the person that you love, like one day one of us goes somewhere, and I don't know, depending on what you believe, some people believe you go somewhere, some people believe you go nowhere. I just want to think that like before that happens, hopefully people who watch this say, if you're on one side of it, watching it happen in front of you, watching someone you love, lose their life to something, or you're the person in bed, I hope you can voice what you feel. That's all I hope. That's what I hope is like a thing that clicks in someone's mind that says like before it's too late, I just want to tell you like it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel and admit that. And it's okay to feel like mad. It's okay to be curious, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I want to connect with you and share this with you because it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not quite fair. Um
Well, you're gonna
yeah.
make me cry in this right now with your
Oh,
answer. I
man.
mean, the film itself is touching and sad but beautiful. It makes you feel, but now talking to you makes that was sad
Well, this is
in a
real
great
human
way.
stuff we're talking about right here. This is
Hmm.
like this is real deal. I know you feel this too. This is real.
Absolutely. No, I don't know
Yeah.
if I said this during the interview or before, but I do know someone who went through this,
Yeah.
so I relate to it, and also I have grieved. So it is
Yeah.
the whole film is beautiful, and I'm telling you, as someone who doesn't relate, it will touch them, and someone who does relate absolutely will touch them. So I'm
Thank
really
you.
excited for audiences to see this.
I hope so. Yeah. Thank you.
I need to wrap this up, although I'm loving this
Gotcha.
interview. But I
I'm
need
sorry.
to ask you before we go how you
Yes.
heard about the Garden State Film Festival and how's it feel
Oh,
having. I'll meet you there this year at the 20th anniversary. It's a huge year. Tell me how you heard about us.
I'm so happy. I'm so glad to be a part of this. Thank you guys for letting us join in the festivities this year. Uh, as a kid from Jersey, like it's one of the bigger ones I've ever heard of. It's always the one that I always was like, man, I gotta get myself down there. I hope one day we get in. Um, just really, I mean, over the moon. I'm a kid that I didn't even feel like I'm supposed to be doing this and talking to you right now. So it's all a blessing. This is a huge blessing. I feel very grateful. Thank you guys. Garden State Film Festival, you rock. I love you.
Yes, they do rock. I love the
Yeah.
Garden State Film Festival. I love talking to filmmakers like you, David. It inspires me, and I'm sure it inspires other people watching. And this was great. The film is amazing. I don't have a lot of vocab words, but it's beautiful. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but it is beautiful. And congratulations to you, Karl, Carlotta, everybody involved. It's
Thank
it's
you.
a beautiful piece. I'm excited for everyone to see this.
Thanks so much.
Congratulations. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Before we sign off, let me tell everybody watching how they can see I'll Meet You There. You can access all the films virtually if you get an all virtual pass, $44.95. Definitely check that out. But if you can make it to the festival, which David will make it so you can meet the filmmaker himself, it will be playing at the Berkeley Hotel in the Continental Ballroom Saturday, March 26th. Just kidding. Sunday, March 27th. My bad, guys. It is playing Sunday, March 27th, 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Berkeley Hotel, Continental Ballroom, Sunday, March 27th, 2:30 to 4:30. So make it there. Don't miss out. Watch a beautiful film. Feel some beautiful things, some sad things, but all in beautiful ways. So thank you again, David.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.